welcome back to Book Time. It is Christmas and we are so excited about this season. It is cozy, it is the best time to read, it is so much fun, and I'm here in my living room with my cozy Christmas tree and I have all of my presents wrapped, almost. And I'm so excited about my Christmas TBR and list of recommendations to give to you today. So without further ado, let's go. All right, so I have my first book that I'm going to recommend to you. I can recommend this with full confidence because I already read it, and it is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. This book is so sensational. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. Let's go over the synopsis. Knives Out gets a holiday rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers romance mystery. This bridge is out. The phones are down. The most famous writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 3 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She is the new queen of the cozy mystery, and he is Mr. Big Time Thriller Guy. She hates his guts. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she tells him otherwise. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a very famous person, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is poof! She is completely gone. She vanishes from a locked room. Is Eleanor in danger? Is Ethan and Maggie in a competition to see who can take over her entire collection of mystery novels as the new writer? Time will tell as the mystery unfolds before our very eyes and a love simmers under the surface. This is going to be such an incredible book for you because I've read it. I just want you to know that this book feels like a deeper read, and it's like meatier and more substantial than just like a Christmas holiday read. There are like more elements of like a failed relationship, infidelity, grief, just so many different things that are just incredible, and you are going to love it. So definitely check this out. It is going to be on everybody's Christmas TBR. All right, the next book I am going to recommend is from a favorite author, and this is Kristen Hanna. She is absolutely the historical fiction queen, and she can make you cry no matter how hard you try not to. I have read The Nightingale, I have read Four Winds, and she just grips at your heart and will not let go. So this is a Christmas story from her perspective, and I'm sure it is going to absolutely destroy me. Joy Condorello once loved Christmas more than any other time of the year. Now, as the holiday approaches, she is at a crossroads in her life. Recently divorced and alone, she can't summon the old enthusiasm for celebrating. And I know many people probably feel that way. I know personally a friend going through a separation right now, and it's a very difficult thing. So without telling anyone, she buys a ticket and boards a plane bound for the beautiful Pacific Northwest. When an unexpected detour takes her deep into the woods of the Olympic rainforest, Joy makes a bold decision to leave her ordinary life behind, just to walk away completely, and thus begin a new adventure unlike any she could ever have imagined. In the small town of Rain Valley, 6-year-old Bobby O'Shea is facing his first Christmas without a mother. Unable to handle the loss, Bobby has closed himself off from the world. His father, Daniel, is beside himself, desperate to help his son cope. Yet, when the little boy meets Joy, these two unlikely souls form a deep, amazing bond. In helping Bobby and Daniel heal, Joy finds herself healing again. That just sounds like a Hallmark movie, but with a little bit of like depth to it. And there's a grief element, and there's found family, and I just think it's going to be so good. And I have been wanting to read this, so I'm excited to give it a go. This should be on your Christmas TBR 100%, if not a very good gift idea for somebody who is very into reading and is probably more on the historical fiction or literary fiction side of life. So definitely check this one out. I just have to reveal an embarrassing thing. I have not tried a Christina Lauren book yet. I know. Can I even say that I'm on booktube? Don't tell anybody. This is the Christmas that I try a Christina Lauren book, and it is going to be in a Holidaze, which I have heard everybody and their mother talking about, and this should absolutely be on your Christmas TBR, and I will tell you why. It is the most wonderful time of the year, but not for Malin Jones. She's living with her parents. She hates her going nowhere job, and she has made a romantic error of epic proportions. But perhaps worst of all, this is the last Christmas she is going to be spending in her family Utah snowy, beautiful cabin, mentally melting down as she drives away from the cabin for the final time. May throws out what she thinks is a simple plea to the universe. Please show me what will make me happy. Has anyone else prayed that kind of prayer? I know I have. The next thing she knows, tires screech and metal collides and everything goes black. But when May gasps awake, she's on an airplane bound for Utah, where she begins the same holiday over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day, with one hilarious disaster after another sending her back to the plane. May must figure out how to break free of the strange time loop and finally get her true love under the mistletoe. And Christina Lauren's trademark hijinks, this swoon-worthy romantic read will make you believe in the power of wishes and love for the magic of the holidays. I think that sounds so incredible. Definitely put this on your Christmas list. I feel like this will be the best Christmas TBR book ever, and it sounds so whimsical and also like magical realism. So definitely check it out. I am such a sucker for a twins swap it story. I am a major Parent Trap fan. Lindsay Lohan all the way. I loved The Princess Switch with Vanessa Hudgens. I am just a like switch it type like person. If you have a twin and you switch lives and identities, like I'm here for it. And this story is exactly that. This is the holiday swap, and I am so excited for this amazing storyline. It says it's a feel-good, holiday-themed romantic comedy about identical twins who switch lives in the days leading up to Christmas. Perfect for fans of Christina Lauren's and Holidaze. Just talked about that book. That's perfect. Also perfect for people who read One Day in December, which I also have on my list. When Chef Charlie Goodwin gets hit on the head at the LA set of a reality baking show, she loses a lot more than consciousness. She also loses her ability to taste. That's awful. And smell. Both critical to her success as a show judge. Meanwhile, Charlie's identical twin, Cass, is frantically trying to hold her own life together back in their quaint mountain hometown while running the family's bustling bakery and dealing with her ex, who will not get the memo that they're over with. With only days until Christmas, desperate Charlie asks Cass to do something they haven't done since they were kids: switch places. Hoping for her own escape from reality, Cass agrees. And temporarily trading lives proves to be way more complicated than they could have ever imagined. That sounds so good. It's kind of like a holiday version of Parent Trap, sort of, if you know that movie and love it as much as I do. Definitely check that out. It is going to be such a good Christmas read, and you should have it on your TBR. This is spicy. It's really spicy. Just be prepared. This next book should come with a warning label, PG-13 / maybe rated R. I was very surprised at some of the spice content in this book, but I will recommend it because it is hilarious, and I gave it a 4.5. I can definitely say that this book enchanted me, but I skipped over some parts as well, just so you know. This book is a modern retelling of The Grinch, and it is adorable because the Grinch type character in this, his best friend, is named Max, and he is such a golden retriever, okay? It's a very, very good book, and I cannot wait to tell you all about it because I think it has to be on your Christmas TBR. It is like the most popular book right now. A new holiday enemies to lovers romance from USA Today's best-selling author, Megan Quinn. Every Kringle in Kringletown celebrated Christmas a lot, but Cole Black on Whistler Lane unfortunately did not. As his fellow citizens decorate their quaint town brimming with carols and glad tidings, Cole wants nothing more than to hibernate his winter away. But his dreary plans are thwarted when his Christmas nemesis, Story Taylor, moves in next door to help her Aunt Cindy. Immediately, the new neighbor turns his life into a real nightmare before Christmas. All the puns. Especially when she decides to enter the town Christmas Kringle contest in honor of Cindy. And better yet, Story is determined to win. over Cole's dead body, she will. With help from his wonderful friend, Max, aka the Golden Retriever, Cole decides to enter the competition as well, to beat Story at her own game, pretending this grumpy hometown guy has a heart that has grown 3 sizes this season. And unfortunately for Story, she has to follow his lead to have a chance at the Christmas Kringle title. But the competition isn't the only thing that heats up. Cole and Story's fake relationship becomes very real, and before they know it, they're attempting to hide it from Aunt Cindy. Things get complicated and the competition gets tougher and tougher. This is adorable. I feel like it is just so funny. It had me laughing, and I felt like it was just like more, I don't know, complex writing, interesting writing, funny humor. I did a little bit of reading. I also listened to the audiobook, so I highly recommend the audiobook. If you liked the book Ready or Not, I believe it is the same voice actress who plays in that book. So definitely check this out. It is such a great read. You will not be disappointed, but be aware. Thank you to my lovely friend Corinna for sending me this amazing book, Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. I absolutely cannot wait to get into this. Now, I have not read this yet, but it is highly recommended by many people, including my best friend Wendy, who really loves it as well, and I have seen lots of friends on Goodreads who have loved it. So I'm very excited to get started to read this, and this should be on your Christmas TBR. Molly and Andrew are just trying to get home to Ireland for the holidays. Already love it because it's about Ireland. When a freak snowstorm grounds their flight. Nothing romantic has ever happened between them. They're friends and that's all. But once a year for the last 10 years, Molly has spent 7 hours and 15 minutes sitting next to Andrew on the last flight before Christmas from Chicago to Dublin, drinking terrible airplane wine and catching up on each other's lives. I love this. In spite of all the ways the two are different, it's the holiday tradition neither one of them wanted to give up. Molly isn't that bothered by Christmas, but in yet another way, they're total opposites. Andrew is a full-on fanatic for the festive season, and she knows how much getting back to Ireland means to him. So instead of doing the same thing and just celebrating the holidays together in America, she does the stupid thing, the irrational thing. She vows to get him home no matter what. The clock is ticking, but Molly always has a plan, and as long as the highly specific combination of taxis, planes, boats, and trains all run on time, it can't possibly go wrong. What she doesn't know is that as the snow falls over the city and over the heads of two friends who are sure they're not meant to be together, the universe might just have another plan after all. This sounds kind of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but like a lovely romance version. So definitely check it out. It should absolutely be on your Christmas wish list. I loved this book. I already read it. I gave it 5 stars. It was so perfect. I thought I wasn't a Courtney Walsh fan because I wrote her off whenever I read The Summer of Yes. But this book is definitely her lane. Rom-com all the way. This is a cross-country Christmas by Courtney Walsh, and you absolutely have to give it a try. Lauren Richmond isn't a fan of Christmas, which is why she rarely makes the trip home to the Midwest for the holidays. After all, she has plenty to keep her busy, namely her duties as a set director on a TV sitcom. But this December, Lauren's brother and his wife are expecting a baby, nothing like your family to drive you home for the holidays. So her brother arranges a ride home with a good friend, Will St. Clair. Unfortunately for Lauren, she's been trying to forget this college baseball crush for many years, and she doesn't want to ride all the way home with him. Now, thanks to her fear of flying, she will be stuck with him in a car from California to Illinois. She is so organized, and she thinks she can manage if she just keeps her head straight. He's flirty and contagious. She's convinced that people don't change, but maybe he's trying to prove to her and to himself on this cross-country road trip that they both have changed a lot. Maybe this will be time for a second look at an old flame. I am so excited for you to try this book. It is such a cute one. It is whimsical. It is adorable. It has banter. It just has like all the rom-com Hallmark vibes, but even funnier than a Hallmark. It's like not super cheesy. It like teeters the line of being like a really good literary fiction in a rom-com. So I loved it. Definitely check it out. I feel like if I wrote a book for Christmas, this would be the book that I wrote. It just sounds like something I would come up with. It is so dreamy and sweet. These two people, they like lock eyes. He's on a bus and she's walking, and they just somehow know they have chemistry, and they're like trying to find each other through a series of events, and it's so perfect. Through a misted up bus window one snowy December day, a girl sees a man who she knows instantly is the one. Their eyes meet, there's a moment of pure magic, and then her bus drives away. Certain they're fated to find each other again, Lori spends a year scanning every bus stop and cafe in London for him. But she doesn't find him. Not when it really matters anyway. Instead, they reunite at a Christmas party when her best friend Sarah giddily introduces her new boyfriend to Lori. Oh, it's Jack, the man from the bus. It would be, of course. What follows for Lori, Sarah, and Jack is 10 years of friendship, heartbreak, missed opportunities, roads not taken, and destinies reconsidered. One Day in December is a joyous, heartwarming, and immensely moving love story to escape into, and a reminder that fate takes many turns along the route to happiness. I cannot wait to try this book out, and I think this will be a perfect holiday read for you. Definitely get this on your Christmas TBR. Brief intermission. Man, coming up with a Christmas TBR is a lot of work. I'm back. I cannot wait for this next one. I have heard lots of people talking about it. This is the 12 Dates of Christmas, and I think the premise sounds absolutely hilarious, and this should definitely be on your TBR. 'Tis the season for finding romance in this hilarious and uplifting holiday read. When it comes to relationships, 34-year-old Kate Turner is ready to say bah humbug. The sleepy town of Blexford, England isn't exactly brimming with prospects, and anyway, Kate's found fulfillment in her career as a designer and in her delicious side job of baking for her old friend Matt's neighborhood cafe. Aww. But then her best friend signs her up for a dating agency that promises to help singles find love before the holidays. 23 days until Christmas. Wow. 12 dates with 12 different men. The odds must be in her favor, right? Yet with each new date more disastrous than the one before, and the whole town keeping tabs on her misadventures, Kate must remind herself that sometimes love, like mistletoe, shows up where we least expect it. That sounds so flipping good. And if this is not on your Christmas TBR, bah humbug to you. Last but not least, I would be remiss if I did not, as a Christian, offer you a wonderful reading experience to focus on the main point of Christmas, which is the birth of Christ our Lord. So the best Christmas devotional that I can recommend personally, because I read it, I loved it, is Joy to the World by Charles Spurgeon. This book is so deep. It is so deep. It is wonderful, chock full of scripture, just keeps you focused on the right mindset. And it was just such a fabulous read. So I highly recommend it, and I think you are going to love it for this Christmas season. All right, my beautiful friends, I have one more recommendation that is not part of these 10 recommendations for Christmas. It is absolutely a bonus, but I have been loving this devotional. It is My Painted Pieces, and this is by, I forget her name, let me find her, Audrey Bailey. I love her Instagram. Definitely look her up on Instagram, but she specifically has a lot of ADHD content, and I believe that I am undiagnosed ADHD, and I love this devotional because I feel like it really just gets me back in the mind frame of focusing and relying on Jesus Christ. If you're a Christian and you are looking for a great new devotional, thank you to my friend Corinna who got this for me. It has been fabulous and I highly recommend it. Thank you, my beautiful friends, for joining me on this video of my Christmas TBR and recommendations. I hope that you found titles that you are going to be so excited about. I hope that you have the most festive holiday season ever, and I will see you back here for more content during the Christmas season, hopefully with a wrap up of all of the books that I have absolutely adored. If you do not know what to comment below, please comment your favorite Christmas read, either of all time or one that you are anticipating reading this year, and I will see you next time on another episode of Book Time.